language and being with those elders and understanding their perception. I got to know later on the etymology of our language. People aren't really understanding of their own, the etymology of culture. For Native people, even the sounds mean something, the quantum physics meaning of everything, that they have more than what we hear and what we have conceptualizing into English. And we're always defaulting to English in order to explain things.
Albert Whitehat used to talk about syllables in Lakota, and Osage are very close. The old people actually could understand one another because the syllables carry the meaning, not the whole word or the whole phrase. But you have to unpack the deep meaning in each syllable. My worry is that we've been so colonized, we've been so compromised by the Euro-Christian worldview that we're having trouble finding our way back, even if we continue to claim some surface level of cultural there-ness. We have powwows, we dance, we have drums, we sing songs, we do beadwork, but the deep structure is fast disappearing just as our languages are disappearing.
Every generation, we're getting further and further away from being who we really are. And I remember the times when I was with Grandma and Grandpa, and there was a great deal of silence between what they would speak. And that was the language between what they were speaking, and understanding the Western way. We have to fill in the spaces, you know. There was the energy. Our languages, like your language, Osage and Lakota, is about energy. And so the verbing comes through.
Absolutely, yes. I'm married to a Chicana woman. My wife gets upset with me because you're not saying anything about this. I'm sitting there letting the words fall where they may, just reflecting, thinking, feeling the energy of grandmother around us, because that's part of the communication too. And only recently has she come to understand that that's an important part of it, that the silence is also a part of our languaging, that we don't always have to be saying things. Differentiating between the Euro-Christian worldview and the American Indian worldview in terms of the deep nature of our languages and the differences. Euro-Christian languages are not verb-based, they're noun-based. They are so amenable to abstraction. Everything is articulated in these nominal abstractions. It's so important in German that they capitalize every noun. In English isn't that much different from German. Our languages are verbal. Anishinaabe, Lakota, Osage, it's about what's going on, what's happening, the concrete action that's taking place. And the nouns build around that verbal action somehow to clarify the verbal action instead of the other way around.
Hearing you as an older generation is that energy remains because of that awareness. And there's a lot of young people that also have this awareness, but they're not aware that they have it. Yes.
Yeah, it's subliminal.
Yeah.
They've picked it up from their parents and grandparents and the old people around them, but nobody's actually taught them in a concrete, abstract way, this is language, this is what you're doing. But I think we need to be more outspoken about that.
You keep taking me back to the times I spent with the older people. Even when I was 4, I didn't go out and play like other children. I was always with the older ones who were born in the 1800s because I could feel that energy. And later on, I began to know, well, how do you explain any native language? They said, well, here's how we can describe the energy. Then we describe the motion of the energy. And that's basically ingrained or innate in a lot of Native people. But then we got out of that intuitive thinking process. And my mother says this today. She says that we cannot speak Lakota without intuition. It's always first. Then it got me to think, well, the good and evil or the right and wrong are basically the extremes of not being able to think. And so here I am speaking in a binary language. without ever having to apply practical mystery, without having to deem it as sacred. That bird is flying using the energy of the earth, the wind, in a proper manner, practical to get him around. But we don't know the mystery behind it. Again, I'm caught up in trying to explain it to the listeners who are looking, searching for the wisdom that's missing in their information.
Yes. And it's a matter of sensing that energy around you in all our relatives, feeling the world, of experiencing the energy, the life of all around us is part of our fundamental value system of balance. Everything must be in balance. There's no room for domination if you're going for balance. If balance is the ideal, dominating my wife, dominating my kids, dominating another nation just cannot be a part of the equation. And of course, that's what we're seeing today is the need to exercise domination. What we experienced on this continent for the past 400 years as Euro-Christians exercised their dominion, their domination over American Indian peoples and our lands particularly.